Yeah, we aren't even uh we're not even on the streets. We're not even notable enough to be the homeless person on said block. We are in a different state.
We aren't even homeless, Steve. We are just E.
Yeah. But hey, we're getting there. We're putting in the legwork, so we'll get there eventually.
One day, Lenny, the video games will stop being bought, and it'll just be art books, and those are much cheaper than video games. So,
You're not wrong. I mean, hey,
so
there are people out there right now who are saying there's going to be another video game crash sometime soon. So
we'll see what happens with that.
I don't think it'll happen. I should qualify this statement by saying that my first thought is I hope it doesn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
and that might be my bias. Is like I play games and I get them fairly regularly. So if there is, that would not be good for me. So
It'd be interesting. Well, never mind. I'm not even gonna say that sentence. Um,
what?
I was gonna say it'd be interesting if it crashed.
Well, no. Well, see, that's not an untrue statement because, like, here's the thing. I've said the same thing about Civil War II in the United States. Like, it would be very interesting. It would be awful, and lots of people would die, and it would be like a tragedy that will go down in history as probably one of the worst conflicts we've ever known. But it would be interesting.
Civil War too.
Yeah, man. Imagine
No, it
this.
just reminds me of fucking Marvel Civil War too. God
Okay, sorry.
damn, Captain Marvel fucking sucks.
A second United States Civil War. Then I should say.
I know what you meant, but you just had to remind me of Captain Marvel.
I did. See, that's the true tragedy of all of that is is Captain Marvel.
Speaking of her, someone did like a huge hate post of the character on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, man, I hate this woman. She's wrong all the time, but everyone thinks she's right.
Man.
She's clearly doing bad things or straddles the line of morality, but everyone just sides with her for no reason. And then when they don't, they're instantly an enemy.
Man. I think I saw the same thread you were talking about.
Oh god. And like the final like post in that whole thread was, why does Marvel want to push this character?
Like, here's the thing. I'd be fine with it if it was like a like 4D chess kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
where they set her up as like a super like cool, likable, moral character, only to then pull the rug out from under your feet, and then show that she's like very like in very Civil War II fashion, show that she's like an authoritarian like villain essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like it would be a very interesting like a hero to villain journey sort of thing. And not even in the way, because most of the time when we're talking about like popular media, 9 times out of 10 when someone has a hero to villain journey, we already know that going in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when you're watching the prequel movies in Star Wars, you already know about Anakin Skywalker, so you already know that he's gonna end up being Vader. So the anticipation is more not so much us thinking will he, because we already know that, as much as how will he. And here's the thing, though. In the case of Captain Marvel, if they were doing what I'm proposing here, which I don't think they are, but it'd be cool if they did, is set her up as super likable so that when they eventually do get to the point where she becomes the villain, it becomes that much more impactful and shocking.
I don't even think they'll do it.
No, I don't think that they will at all, but that would be a very cool thing for them to do if they wanted to do something striking, you know? Because, like, let's be frank, them doing the, Marvel Cinematic Universe in and of itself, as a whole, is a very, like, unique achievement in filmmaking.
Yeah,
not that there haven't been sequels or crossovers before, but, like, the sheer scope and scale of what they've done here across so many different like things with this is remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because they were able to set a precedent, cross some boundaries, take some risks. And so I feel like them doing this, I'm not going to say unprecedented because we've seen it done before, but in regards to the standard film going audience, I don't think that's something that they're necessarily going to see coming, and that may be something that they could be pleasantly surprised by. Something they can kind of get behind. I think, now to give credit for you with this, Jalen, I don't think they're going to do this. Because even though it would be a great idea from like a writing perspective, it would piss off their fan base to no end. And by that I mean all the people who see her as like a strong role model for women. They don't want to piss off those types, I think. Because
that's the one thing I really don't understand. Not to interrupt you, but
yeah.
How can you not want an evil character in your camp, you know?
Can you elaborate a little on that?
Or someone of just like extreme questionable morals. Like, it's one thing to have like all women cannot be good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You would think if they wanted, more like deeper portrayals of women in media, you would think they would be accepting of like a villain or two, you know?
Yeah. And I'd agree with you. It's just that I think their priorities are skewed, and that I would say they're not necessarily looking for better like written portrayals of women as much as better portrayed women.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I say that I don't think they would do this, what I mean is they've already set up Captain Marvel as supposed to be like this inspiring role model for women, and so putting her strictly in the villain camp would be something that they would say, how could you do this, and this is terrible, and like this is not what she's about. Like they would say that it's like beyond the scope of her character to do something like that. And like I'm trying to, there's an example that I immediately thought of, but I can't say it because it's a spoiler for something else.
Damn.
Okay, so I won't say who the character is, but do you want me to say a Game of Thrones spoiler?
I don't care.
Okay, I didn't know if you had any plans to watch it or if you were watching it.
Nah.
So there's a character in the show. In this case, it's a Daenerys Targaryen.
Lenny, we've talked about Daenerys and her crazy bullshit.
I didn't remember. I'm sorry. I didn't. I guess we must have. I forgot. I already spoiled it for you. So.
No, it was okay. The internet spoiled it for me. Like I said, I had no intention of actually watching the show.
Right. Well, to put it in summary, then, since we've covered this at one point, what I'll say is the crux of why I bring her up is she was supposed to be set up as also not. She wasn't like set up as an inspiring role model for women, but that is a role that she can fill. Mm-hmm. George R.R. Martin didn't say, like, that's not the initial thing he set out to do with her. He's just like, well, I'm just gonna write a cool character, and they did, and she was super well received to the point where there are actually, I think the number's like 8+. I forget. There are 8+ like young girls out there who were born and named Daenerys or Khaleesi, or because she has like multiple names, but it's like, yeah. So they actually are named after her, because they found her to be such a good character and an inspiring role model, and she kills thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people in the finale of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that in mind, people were mad at that, because here's the thing: we have two camps of people who are mad at that. You have my camp, where we're like, this makes literally no sense for a character given the circumstances. As in, we're not saying the outcome is unreasonable as much as the way you got to the outcome was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just think it's very poorly written. Like, you could have gotten here at some point with some characters something else, but it just is, it was done so poorly that we just hate it. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at. Then you have Camp B, where they just don't like the idea of her being evil at all, no matter how well it's done. And
Mhm.
so they are just like outraged that this like is happening at all. They're just like, what the fuck? She can't be evil. She's my hero, and that's bad. And so me and that group, we've come to the same conclusion of we dislike this, but it's for different reasons. I believe mine are valid. I don't believe theirs are valid, and then vice versa. You know, because they would disagree with me on the basis of I say it would have been better if she turned evil because reason X, Y, and Z, and they would be like, no,
Mhm.
she's not supposed to be evil under any reason, under any circumstance. And that would kind of present back to what you mentioned before, Jalen, the notion of like it would be difficult to say that you have a better fleshed out we'll say written female experience if you're unwilling to present the moral gray areas that a real person would have.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're gonna write women better, you can't present them as like these pure, perfect beings, and that's just as bad as like writing like the standard like 50s sitcom housewife. You know,
Yeah.
like it's just as bad. It's just in the opposite direction. So, also, is Perry back yet?
I've been back for like the last 10 minutes.
Oh, did you say that?
Oh, you were in the middle of a train of thought and I didn't want to interrupt you.
Okay.
Well, thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
All right.
I got back in as soon as you were talking about the whole like Captain Marvel potentially being a villain would be a really good writing aspect, but they're not going to do it because Herder strong women can't be villain.
Ah. Okay. Then you got it. So.
Wah. Oh shit.
They basically all just sound like Waluigi over it, just Waluigi white noise.
I love Brie Larson. Huh? I'm sorry.
Well, if I had any more reason to not give a shit about Waluigi, there it is.
Welcome back, everybody, to Anime Journeys. I am your host, Lenny, and I am joined here by Jalen.
Yeah, howdy.
And Perry.
Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting night. I can feel it.
That's right. We are on the last stretch of episodes for this show, the last 5 of Gun X Sword. It'll be interesting for sure. Anything could happen, and I'm intrigued to see how you guys like these episodes heading towards the finale. With that in mind, any thoughts or comments on this before we dive right in?
Vaughn's gonna lose his hat.
I suspect he's going to lose his tuxedo.
All right. All right. All bets have been placed. I've got that. I've got that marked down, and we'll get this.
I'm also going to assume that at least one character is going to die. Character per every 2 episodes. So at least 2 to 3 characters will die.
All right. I've got that marked too. Okay, so character every episode, 7 episodes, losing a tuxedo and losing the hat. All right, I'm gonna skip ahead. Are you guys both at 136?
Yes.
Cool. Off we go.
The races.
For whose sake?
Yeah, man, what are we fighting for?
What am I fighting for? Perhaps anyone who gets that reference.
Yeah, man, this is it, Vaughn.
Home stretch. I know bets have been placed right now, but if you had to take a guess, Jalen, who do you think is going to kill who?
Um, the Claw is going to kill Michael.
And who do you think is going to kill the Claw?
Vaughn's gonna get to kill the Claw.
Was that the space colony arc in the shot?
Cameo.
So remember what happened at the end of the last episode.
She went on that date, man.
What?
Yeah, man. Just tired of waiting for Vaughn to become Vaughn the nice guy, Vaughn the Dawn to Vaughn of the Wendy's husband.
Puppies. You know what that means.
A creepy dog.
Ow. Didn't. The dog did. He literally just fell on sand, dude.
I mean, the gun was right there. It could have went off.
Don't say that, okay? That just makes it feel creepy. Just like you do. Milk. Oh.
Will it be, Wendy?
One is drunk off her ass. Call him out.
See, there you go, Perry. She called him. She pushed back a bit.
Thank you. Finally.
It doesn't matter now. The man's dying.
That's actually not a half bad idea.
Mm.
Outer space. Shit. All right, who brought the garage band in loops? That says the guy whose sole bent purpose in life is to kill someone.
Yeah, but he don't want to die himself before he kills him.
Oh, I love this jam.
This is no time to be playing Tetris on your freaking phone.
I can't believe they're actually doing this.
I mean, they don't really have much of a choice.
I'm sorry, was she just cooking in a bathing suit?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess maybe it's just laundry day. Well, now she's in one too, so
Maybe it's just hot.
Oh, even he's got something on. Well, less on.
uh, thank you. Thank you. Oh god, this is satisfying.
Simpson's really doing it for you, huh?
He had no choice.
Everyone's getting called out, and Barry's loving it.
I know, and it feels great. I'll take what I can get.
Fucking Carlos is still asleep.
Priscilla just got it right in the middle of them.
Damn,
Wow,
they dragged
Priscilla.
Ray into it
Fucking
too.
Barrio's touching Ray, and he is not digging it.
Oh gosh, she's what?
Oh Jesus.
What?
If you have to ask, you definitely won.
Just I'll give Priscilla. Oh, oh, poor Wendy.
Oh God. He was hoping that was going
I
to
would.
deter her, but it didn't work.
I think that only made her more curious. What?
It's so sad.
Don't start now. Two are in no condition to fight each other.
This reminds me of two old men on top of Arsenal gear beating the shit out of each other. Metal Gear Solid 4.
But that was epic as hell. Then Ray shoots Vaughn in the back. No.
I think he means that he just has like 3 women who are just way into him, and he's just completely unaware.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Wendy wearing glasses? Oh,
They're all wearing glasses.
They don't look half bad.
So you toned it down from "I'm gonna kill him" to "I might have to kick his ass."
Okay, I'll give him points for consideration.
I told you the moon was the Death Star.
It's Ark. Nice colony Ark.
There you go. Nice little breather episode to start us off with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lie, probably one of my favorite episodes of the series.
No.
So everyone got
For
called
obvious
out.
reasons.
That's right.
Long overdue.
Oh, I could feel your excitement when Ray got slapped.
It's like, yay! then Vaughn finally getting called out by Wendy. Just like, look, if you're so hell bent on revenge, just get it yourself. I will admit the only thing that would make me more happy is if both of them were called out just a little bit longer for their actual problems. But I'll take what I can get.
And it's nice that Ray cares for his brother. Gave him a
Like, holy
blanket.
Make sure he's not cold.
Yep.
He's like, I need to keep him warm so that way he can do more repairs.
Fair enough. Then, any other comments before we start this next one?
No, I think I'm good.
Keep going. Let's see it.
All right, let's keep this train going. Now you know why the X is shaped that way.
Oh.
It's the island.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's clever because it's also an X.
Yeah.
Also known as Space Australia.
Still can't believe it took me that long to notice that.
Or revenge. All right. Oh, jeez.
It's pretty metal.
It's the Ishimura. How old is he?
Pretty old.
Hmm.
Poor kid. He's just trying to find something to believe in.
Well, I mean, once everyone's drugged and like the claw, everyone will understand.
Oh my god, he's literally just becoming Dark Gundam.
He's lost his legs.
Where we're going, we don't need legs. Oh my god, he's using Aurora Beam.
Aurora Borealis. This, I can't do it.
I have the power.
Oh,
Is he going to? Wait, oh, for a second there, is he going to collide the base with the Earth? Oh no, with the star. That endless illusion. Damn it, I can't talk.
Ram the moon into the
thing they
planet.
live on.
Yes, there. That's what I was trying to say. Josh in his pajamas?
He was asleep.
Looks like almost everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
Enough. Probably just grunt in annoyance.
Man, that's a lot of time.
Pretty sure he won't mind. Being dead and all.
His spirit might come back and be like, Vaughn, how dare you?
How dare you use my giant cross in the sky without my permission from beyond the grave?
Exactly.
Oh.
Did he just ship them?
He
I
knows.
think he did. He probably was just like, so tell me, where did you make the deed? Inside Saudon. Oh my. Don't. You're better than him. You are too good for him.
he was like, why is she staring at me? Oh, the moon.
Yep.
Tides.
Yep. Oh, he must be giddy.
I thought he was going to say grab it by the balls.
That'd be too obvious.
True. Oh, sure, just push the moon.
I'm gonna tell the moon to go back. It's too close. And the moon will be like, oh, I'm sorry, dog.
Majora's off somewhere saying, bitch, you ripped me off.
Bitch, get in line.
I did this first. No, there's part of me that just wants to see her get in the mech as well.
I mean, there's still episodes in the show. It might happen. No,
You
not
know,
the
there's a door.
Jesus.
Just went full on Terminator 2.
Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, Wendy hasn't really had the chance to him, you know?
That's a lot of bullets.
He saved them all for this moment.
No.
Fire everything!
Thank you, Eldora.
Thank you. Yeah, you do.
And then Ray just gave up.
Oh. Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
That was the
Hey.
sharpest shot he's made in the whole show.
Pretty much.
Damn, the show's over.
Yeah, buddy. It's you. Now we're just turning this into Sonic Adventure 2.
Yep.
I appreciate there's no noise here.
I'm really interested now.
Oh.
Ooh boy.
Yep.
Man.
I'd say the scales have just turned the vault, like it just turned itself up to, I don't know, like 9, maybe 10, not quite 11 yet.
Nah, just wait. It's getting there. I mean, well, you're seeing it. It's ramping up.
Yeah, it's ramping up, it's just not over the top yet.
I
Yep.
mean, there's more to escalate.
Yeah, believe it or not, we already have the moon in orbit, and there's more to come. So
There's still 3 episodes left.
that's right. We got a whole, let's see, 25 minutes per episode. So yeah, just shy of 80 or so, 75 minutes. Yeah, 75 minutes of action and excitement for everyone.
Oh man.
Well, I can already get. Well, I guess I can put my prediction or one of my predictions to bed now. We've gone through what 2 episodes, and not a single person has died yet.
That's right.
Who knows, man? Someone could die this episode.
Maybe. It was raining drugs. How could it be bottomless if it's endless?
Yeah, missiles. Priscilla's going in. Damn.
Missile but cannon. Wait, is he being cooperative? What a development.
He realizes that the fun's almost over. That and he can't see.
You can't decide that for him.
What the world? All of a sudden, they just decide to ship those two. What the?
I mean, I like Priscilla and all, but I mean, no offense, but Wendy's had more of a stake in this than her.
To be fair, none of them should get with Vaughn.
I agree. I mean, I'd be less creeped out if it was Priscilla than Wendy, because Wendy's clearly not old enough.
Well, yeah, age thing aside, because that's the most obvious thing in that. Vaughn's just not.
Interested?
Yeah.
I'll say at least that Priscilla is, well, A, potentially old enough, and B, is actually forward with her emotions, whereas, like, Wendy gets, like, shy and embarrassed sometimes.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh.
I mean, Allenby of this show.
Not the fish. The fish
Oh
on
no,
the island.
the moon is spewing its goop. It kind of looks like Vaughn's puzzle.
Yeah.
Them singing it in restaurants was awkward.
Yeah, this is just strange. I never want to have a birthday ever again. Jesus.
Or basic dudes.
They really held back on like the generic enemies till like the very end. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Ooh, God.
Hey, that's no good. Don't mind me, I've just got a big gun parked out front. You're gonna need a better line of sight, man. I don't mean that to be insensitive. This whole island is artificial, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Oh my
wow.
god, it's Angel Island.
This is part of the
Knuckles,
terraforming.
Quick, Knuckles, get the Master Emerald.
Does that make the claw Robotnik?
Well, he is part robotic, so
I'd say since he's more involved, this would be if, like, Gerald Robotnik was the villain.
actually
Considering.
that does make way more sense.
To be fair,
Yep.
if Gerald was the villain, I don't think they would have won.
Yep.
You've never taken a low like that to the face.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
That was actually smart.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. I won't lie. That's probably the most evil he's looked the entire time.
Yep.
That was like a Photoshop, just animations, just like whoop.
Yeah, that was just drag PNG gun.
Fire off gun sound effects.
I just still everything Wendy said the past, like everything.
I don't think that Ray's going to go along with that plan.
All he needs to do is make like a fake Faustelina sign and just like lead him away from the battlefield.
Or he could just say, "We're making a strategic retreat to a faster path of the claw." Okay, I will do that.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Oh man, this is getting nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, man.
He's got a self-destruct sequence, doesn't he?
That's right, Ray. No prisoners.
Late. Really? Now is not the time to ask. Huh. You just pulled a Vegeta, didn't you?
Yeah. The longest escalator in existence.
There's no time for stairs.
This is the ride! Yay!
This is the greatest Disneyland ride ever. He's a puppet. I knew it. I've got no strings to hold me down.
You know, the moon cover Earth like that, or endless illusion. I'm sorry.
See?
It's a cool image.
Oh, wow. They are spent. Yeah, right. Fire now.
Oh wow.
She's still alive?
Yep.
Barely.
Love. So she actually does like him.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Oh, there's something.
Wow. Oh no.
Luggage survives.
That's just crazy.
He just blew it up.
So I knew he dropped him off somewhere, but the first time I saw this, I thought he killed his brother. Because he just left him on the floor before. I'm like, what the fuck, Ray?
Yeah, that's right, Ray. Pace yourself. You got a lot of stairs to climb.
Really? That sound effect? Secretly, he is chanting, I am one with the force is with me.
Yeah, that's actually what he is saying.
What?
Did he block it with the claw?
Yes.
Oh, good
That's
shit.
oh damn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I have the world's greatest boner.
Damn, Ray went out like a badass.
He got kind of what he wanted. Oh, there goes one character.
Yep. You were close, Barry.
Close, but no cigar.
I like Ray now.
You did good in the end.
Somewhat
Mhm.
redeemable.
Plus, he had a super badass line.
Hell yeah.
At least he got to troll the claw hard before he died.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let
Oh, man,
this.
but what's gonna happen now?
I'm gonna let this play a little because I think he says something else, but I don't know for sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
Is this all the same song, just different parts of it?
This is a different song. Same artist though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's 4 versions of the outro theme. We'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was the 3rd one. There's the standard one, the acoustic one, this one, and there's like a special one for the finale, I think.
Okay.
So for those of you watching at home, I'm Lenny. You may know me from from the stuff you've been watching here. No, this is one I've been wanting to show these guys for a while. So I've recommended to them for some time. It's pretty good. I like it a lot. It's got a lot of really good qualities. Only thing it doesn't have, in my opinion, is not that it doesn't have some good ideas, but you can kind of tell from our commentary, it's not exactly high up on original ideas. That's the only thing. Now it is original in the sense of like what it does is very unique, but it does that by combining elements of everything else around it. So,
Right, I'm back.
welcome back.
Hey. I'm guessing Jalen had to bounce out too for a moment.
Yep, that's why I left initially.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah. Now I was just telling the viewers at home some thoughts on the series. So,
Fair enough.
Yeah. But
Oh,
until he gets back, what are some thoughts you have on past few episodes, or what you think is going to happen in the next set?
well, well, I think. Well, I mean, at least Dan's now at least healed, so he can at least fight. I think Claw is going to start losing his mind, absolutely ballistic in the next. Considering that that's the one time once he was deprived of something, getting close to stopping his dream. Oh, this is where he cracks.
Yeah, you can
And
tell
so
that's the first time he's been like actually upset about something.
yeah. So now the next 2 episodes are just going to be him being this raving lunatic,
He's just gonna smack people with his claw.
pretty much. And Dan and Vaughn are just basically going to spend the next couple of episodes just going to town on him.
He's gonna come out of the goop like Slash.
But there's also going to be Saladon to take care of. So my guessing is Wendy is going to eventually have to put down her own brother.
She still has that one bullet in the chamber.
She's had that one bullet in that gun for the entire show and has never once fired it.
Anton Chekhov is crying in his grave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's almost. I almost want to call it Jack Sparrow's gun at this point. The first Pirates movie, how he was specifically saving that one bullet for Barbossa.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, it's like, wait a second, didn't this come out after the first Pirates movie?
Yeah.
This is 2005, so yes.
So maybe it was all. Maybe that was another partial inspiration of, hey, let's have that one bullet used by technically one of the main characters and use it against a specific individual, but we won't say who it is going to be for.
Yes, that's the one thing. In a show, there's one of two things that you have with a bullet with one gun. This is either the bullet you are saving to kill yourself, or the bullet that you will save for the person you least expect to use it on.
Or the bullet that will be used on technically the most tragic of circumstances, having your little sister kill you with technically your own gun.
Yep.
Question
Michael's
is
gonna be like, I made a mistake.
too bad. Bang.
Yeah.
Oh, and plus that would probably be the most poetically tragic.
Absolutely.
He's like, don't kill me yet. I need to introduce you to my new girlfriend.
Me,
Like, what
Fasalina,
if-
she's tried to kill you. She used to be a whore.
And Wendy's just like, man, you really know how to pick them.
And
It's like you could say as much for yourself.
I was kidnapped by that old man that took you on a date. This is the hooker that he rescued.
Imagine try to imagine a meeting with the parents with that.
That's a good thing they're dead. Otherwise,
No, but that would be extremely awkward.
oh god.
Both Michael and Wendy bring their respective boyfriend and girlfriends to their house at the same time, and the parents just go, "Where did we go wrong?"
Decent is actually the best way to describe Ray.
I would say he's slightly okay. The end of the world, I shall perform the greatest T-pose known to man.
Fool comes by armor.
T-pose to exert your dominance.
Exactly. As plot armor, he'll come back. Uh-oh. Killed his brother
Remember,
in
though,
front of
judgment
him.
flowers.
I think now Joshua's going to go berserk.
Josh has now become Ray. He is
He's
Ray
become
too.
Gohan.
He inherited his edge.
My edge will live on through my younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
They could have shot them all.
A book will help.
We'll have a word with you. Edge is brewing inside of him. The hate will flow through him.
Oh, he's got the edgy twitch, the edgy
All
knee
he's got to do is
pose.
find a way to fuck things up for him.
Yep.
I want to see Joshua screw some stuff up. Oh, is he being a big sister?
Oh, she made it back.
Ray's just like, now you know how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
On just comes in and just like, bitch, no.
Oh man. We got some classic bomb setting.
Oh man. A plot. Attaboy. He's like, wait, is this the same boy?
Yeah, man. Brother dying changes a lot, you know?
Is he planning to do?
He's planning to do something.
Is he gonna blow it up from the inside?
He's smart.
Or
He'll
maybe
think
no,
some.
wait, he's gonna a foundation.
Nah, that'd be cool. Oh man.
They're out. Incoming! The plot armor has arrived.
From the sky at that.
Wait a second.
Wow.
It's Dan of Thursday. Power of Beyblade compels you.
She mastered the art of yo-yoing from Kahlua himself.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Really? You can't be.
When did you have
Can't be
time to read the
serious.
manual?
In between naps?
Brain. Got a really bad habit of getting that nerve caught in a blade. Shoryuken!
Oh wow.
About time you used that for an attack. Oh yeah.
Oh, shit. Damn, they're old.
Ow.
Oh, okay. It
Just
just
jump the shield.
it's just an opening at the top.
Got it. We just have to jump really, really high. Meanwhile,
Oh, well, I get it.
she's not wrong.
Yeah.
That's Wendy. The bullet is still in there. Jesus. Bull crap.
Oh, damn, Wendy,
You had
Jesus.
one job. Yes.
Shit, the end of the episode right there. Fuck them.
Yep.
Man, what if it was on TV and I had something to do next week and I wouldn't be able to watch this? I'd have been so pissed.
Yeah, man.
I would have been
Lucky-
the same, Jalen.
Lucky for me, I didn't watch this as it aired. I watched this on Netflix when it was like the whole series was already there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'd have been pissed. I'd have been very pissed.
Oh, time to see the end of the line.
Yep.
Oh. That's
Oh,
nice.
that's actually a really nice outfit.
Oh yeah. All right. Finale.
So,
What's up?
also, just a small detail I noticed on her outfit, but it has a spider's web on it.
Mm-hmm.
Very symbolic.
Oh yeah, we go on anime. No intro music this time. Just straight into it.
Oh, we're actually gonna see it this time, huh?
Great circle of life.
The final.
It's finale. Shoot him.
Tell us how you really feel, Michael.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah. Turtle is MVP. Now would be a good time.
everyone do everything.
Ow. Oh, God. Here it comes. Theme song.
He doesn't get it. They did it. Yeah, cameo's okay too. Ooh.
Oh, come on.
It's just intense, man.
No kidding.
Oh shit, they're all dead. Oh yeah, fastball special. That was cold.
Damn.
That was probably the coldest move in the show. Holy shit.
He fucking bisected the dude.
In his own coffin. I lost my V card to her. Hey, I just noticed this. They have the same hairdo now.
Yeah. Oh.
Or not. At least she's more mature than you.
Mm.
Not the doggo. Oh, come on.
No way.
Yep.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, so she wasn't lying.
and that was quick.
Holy.
All right, now there's an epilogue. You get in a wedding dress, and you repeat this cycle.
Vaughn has not aged a day.
Nope.
Oh,
Meanwhile, Wendy grew like 3 feet.
Yep. And Cameo is
big old turtle.
Cameo is a unit.
He just got exponentially bigger.
Went from small turtle to chungus turtle.
Oh god.
Oh man.
That was real good.
Ugh.
I don't even know where to start.
Well, this is there's not anything plot related. There's one tiny little thing at the end.
Oh man.
It's nothing like huge, but it's there. So I'm gonna have us go to there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just let this kind of play out. It's like it's just another minute.
To Fossilina and Michael in bed again.
No. But I will comment on that after this thing, though.
Were
Okay.
they really crushed by the rock?
I will comment on that after this.
Question mark.
That's it. It's a fun little end card showing that they're all back together and Cameo.
Cameo has 2 chairs.
Yep, and he's he's just like Vaughn.
Oh,
She's like, I
he's-
can't fucking take.
Like, I was like, oh, it thinks it's people.
Yep.
Oh,
Ugh.
So to comment on that, so there was a lot of debate when this first came out as to whether or not Michael and Fossilina lived, because
Mhm.
like the way that Carmen comments on it makes it seem like they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But a rock just fucking falls on them. We don't see or hear them after that. So it seems visually like they did. There was actually a like CD drama disc or something, like a
Yes.
Audio
the drama CD.
drama CD that came out after this, kind of detailing a little bit of like Wendy's life afterwards. It's not like an actual sequel. We'll say this is the equivalent of an epilogue.
Mhm.
And in it, they mention Michael and Fossilina like living happily elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they actually lived happily ever after.
Gotta love that exclusive content Japan be getting.
That's right.
God damn it.
Yep. But hey, so they whether or not you think they deserved it, they're alive and happy, and and like okay,
Well,
they did some reprehensible shit, but I think at least in their final moments they kind of redeemed themselves. Once their
Mhm.
dreams were crushed. So yeah.
Well,
So
what are we gonna do to pass the time? Well, how about I show you a few techniques I learned? Oh,
oh god. Oh god, where to begin?
We have the same haircut.
yep.
So,
Oh.
Gun X Sword. That's the whole show.
As I said before, Lenny, for the 3rd time, you've been holding out on us.
And now I haven't, because I showed you. So,
Oh boy. Oh, the real question is there a sequel in which Priscilla and Wendy duke it out over Vaughn's affections?
no, I'd say the only
Being completely oblivious.
room for a sequel would probably be in the Super Robot Wars games, like if they were to continue the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably. Although I have to progress more in Robot Wars T to actually notice this.
Yeah.
Poor
Well,
Carmen.
to be-
Well, not poor Carmen, because she didn't act on anything.
She was just like, I'm just gonna act all tsundere and huffy, despite the fact that I can't be honest myself. It's like, you're literally just a tsundere.
I'll say this, she's a lot more subtle of a tsundere than we usually get.
Yeah, she's probably one of the best.
Like, as in, when she said that she was in love with him, we actually genuinely took it as a joke for, like, most, if not all of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when she admits it, it's just like, oh, so now you finally admit it. It only took someone who turns out to actually be like, that's the one thing I'll give credit for Fossilina for. She's actually more honest with herself than freaking Carmen is.
Yep. It took a prostitute who wants to hypnotize the entire fucking world and destroy this lady's hometown to have to have some principles.
Boy.
Yep. That is certainly a thing. That's what it takes for her to grow some principles. I hate to see what else has to be developed for her character to reach full potential.
And it's like, and this isn't like super deep, but it's something else that I kind of think is an interesting take on the show. Is like, it kind of puts a lens on, we'll say, the idea of like what makes a man, because you look at Michael, who's definitely not a virgin, as we saw, and you look at Vaughn, who definitely is, and they kind of put it in the lens of like, you know, even though one is done more to be like manly, you know, like join an organization, you know, he has a steady person, you know, he's become a man in that sense, you know, but they usually just portray him as a lot more childish. And you compare Vaughn, who's for all intents and purposes, a violent homeless man who's never been laid. and yet they tend to portray him as being more manly generally, and I think it's they interesting.
When he cheats, he yells "Chesto,"
You're not wrong,
and goes "Teria,"
and damn, that's delicious.
And can never eat food normally and has to soak it in condiments.
Yep.
Oh boy.
They did everything they could. Is like, we got to find literally every single thing that we could possibly do to make this character stand out amongst other male protagonists.
You're not wrong. I'll say this as at least each meal has some variation to it. You know,
Yes.
like if you look at, you know, like Naruto, he's always just like ramen, and then that's it. And then
Yeah.
you know, but then this one, like he will eat literally any meal as long as it has the condiments, and he'll use different condiments.
Bland.
Yeah, and with different screams too. You know, like damn, that's sweet, or it's like spicy. So
Bland. I still think that's my favorite one.
that is a good one. So
I'm definitely.
go ahead, man. Sorry.
Just to go back a couple episodes, I am also very satisfied with the fact that my joking wish of wondering if there was ever a mech piloted by a stripper pole has now been fulfilled.
That's right. Of all the shows, it was
This one.
That's right.
To quote Jalen, Lenny, you've been holding out on us.
Yes, I have. I'm so glad we got to watch this, man. Just it's got some of the coolest moments. It's got some of the funniest shit. It's got some really nice animation, some fucking banging music, and you know, and it's surprisingly unique and memorable, despite the fact that it is, in regards to its components, one of the least original shows I have seen, like, ever. Like, everything about this show just takes little bits and pieces from other stuff, like just little scraps from other people's tables to form his own, like, smorgasbord Frankenstein of condiments on the table.
Yep.
You know, he takes stuff from Cowboy Bebop, from Trigun, from Gundam, from just from Kill Bill, among other things. Like we mentioned towards the end, there's a lot of Sonic Adventure 2 especially, towards the end there.
I mean, granted, that's probably me just reading into it too much because I was like, well, this looks like just the end of Sonic Adventure 2.
I mean, it kind of does, and then you got the fight in space, you got the giant moon base that's actually like a destroyer thing, you know, where it used to
firing towards the Earth.
Yeah, and then a bunch of people from a long time ago used to operate it, and you know, there's a lot of stuff of that. There's Majora's Mask with the moon coming to destroy everything. Like, I mean, like you just toss out like references and influences like they're candy on Halloween. It's nuts.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised that there was just less of a body count in this ending than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
Because I was sweating. I was like, all right, let me guess. Priscilla's gonna die. The old timers are gonna die. Carmen's gonna die. Josh is gonna die. Like I was expecting a lot of people to just straight up bite the big one in this.
Yep.
The only person who I assumed would make it out completely with almost without a scratch was Wendy.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a safe bet.
And I was also certain that Vaughn was gonna die.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if when like at the time I was watching it, I wouldn't have been surprised myself if that happened.
I'm just surprised that there's not a high body count.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I technically have some of the staff, not all the staff, but some of the staff decided to stay and mope. They're definitely dead.
Oh no, I meant anyone that we actually gave a crap about.
Oh, yeah, no.
Mhm.
Pretty much none. The only one is Ray, and that's if you care about him, which, he did good at the end, so.
I still think he's too much of an edgelording douche.
Oh, no, you're not wrong. But, he has his moments.
He didn't have a lot of scenes. So like for the small scenes he had, he made a big impact.
Yep.
Much.
That's my boy, man. And, you notice here, he was the voice director for this series.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
He had to write a lot of this. So Liam O'Brien had to write a lot of this script.
Yeah, he was the voice director and English script adaptation for this. So
He told people how to yell just right.
that's right. So he knew his shit, and I'm like, that's what's good. And I love some episodes like, the two, and maybe it's just because I like yelling, but my favorite scenes are when Vaughn meets up with Godved and he just loses his shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, bastard, 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 and just goes at him. And then the other one where he just like kind of collapses in on himself when they're in the abandoned castle town outside of Woo's home.
Yeah, that's absolutely one of my favorite scenes in the show.
Yeah, no, I fucking it's just so disrespectful. That's the thing is as much as Vaughn is he's literally just Vash and fucking Spike just fused together and very hungry. Like as much as you just do that, he's just a really well fleshed out character for me,
I can't fault that one. I mean, he's definitely focused.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing I give this show props for. How well connected everything was.
That is true.
Yeah, you didn't expect the fruity tooty fucking pirates to show up at the end and save everyone, did you?
Oh.
Yeah, that was completely unexpected, but I guess he was too good to be used in only one episode.
That's right.
Just goes to show you that the mustache crew was not that as good as the flamboyant captain.
And even then, they got enough callbacks.
Yeah,
True.
they got a couple of callbacks for them, and they're like, "Hey, we helped to make this stretchy underwear." God.
I mean, that is probably one of the more ridiculous plot lines in the entire series, and that's saying something.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
And it factors in with the ending because Michael would not have survived re-entry without that medal.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's true, but that also makes the question of how did Vaughn survive?
Well, his thing usually goes up and down into orbit anyway.
No, I understand that, but he didn't have it wasn't a case of him having his satellite anymore. And even the one when he used by Godved, he literally just flew in out of the sky like normal.
Well, if you note, when he comes down, he's covered in the space goo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So maybe it hardened around him.
Yeah, it kind of acts like a shell. And they mentioned this before. It's implied that Vaughn has something else that's, like, special about him. Because at the last moment, that doctor realizes that Vaughn actually had a propensity for Earth technology even before he was fused with Vaughn. And
Oh.
and it's implied that that's why he was able to, like, make that giant blade out of the destroyer goo. Because of, like, his inherent talent that he has in this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So he was more like the rest of the original 7 than they actually realized.
that's right.
Interesting. Wow.
And with that, here's a question. I know I've got your thoughts already, but just since we're covering this, because I mentioned this when we had a talk, like a month, maybe a little over a month ago. We were talking about our favorite villains, and I basically said nothing on the clock because I'm like, we're gonna watch this soon. But now that we're here, well, I think if you're seeing this, I think you can tell why I put the Claw so high in regards to, like, favorite villains. But tell me your thoughts on the Claw as a villain.
Ellen, you take the floor first.
Okay. I actually really liked him. The Claw is very interesting because he's got this, like, crazy, make everybody happy by taking everything that actually, makes them individual and special and all that, and turn them all into smiley face slaves,
Yep.
and he does it all in, like, the most peaceful, like, priesty way. And then as soon as he, like, loses it all, he is just a crazy old man, no pretense at all,
Yeah.
He's just like, oh no, our plans failed, but we can do it again. And everyone's like, wait, what? And
Pretty much.
we will have Vaughn join us and his friends too. They'll be new original 7. Yes, idiots, hilarity. So, like, just seeing him break was a mood.
Very cool. How would you, like? I'm not gonna, like, say give, like, a number scale, but would you say he's a pretty good villain in comparison to, like, other ones you've seen, or?
Yeah, I think he's about if I put him on, like, a villain scale of 1 to 10, I think he's a hard 8.5.
Mhm.
The only reason why I don't give him, like, a 9 is because I wish he maybe was a bit more hand involved, because he mostly let everyone else do the work.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Very cool. Well then, with that in mind, then Perry, what do you think about the Claw as a villain?
Another one-armed villain, so there's another list of just like, well, there's another stereotype I have to fight. All right, okay, in all seriousness, I'm joking, obviously, but I
He
would
says
say
as he plans to take over the world.
okay, first of all, it's not a world domination plan. And it's not a world domination plan that especially uses drugs, because that's stupid. Anyways, I'm going to say that I will admit I don't think the Claw is one of my favorite villains. Why you personally like, and I was like, I get it now. He's usually very calm and collected. He's very sure what he's doing is right, and that usually makes for an interesting villain. Of a villain never assumes that they're evil. It's like, oh yeah, I'm being evil for the sake of being evil or something like that. No, he genuinely is trying to do something better. despite the fact that what he's trying to do is absolutely insane. I appreciate the fact that it's like, at least he's sincere in his conviction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he's a little too hands-off. It's like, and I kind of would like to see him be more involved, if that makes any sense, rather than just be this aloof guy and say, like, oh, we will have this birthday celebration and everyone will be friends. I was like, you're basically just Jesus if he was a sociopath.
Jesus.
Pretty much, like, that's basically what he would be. It's like he's so right and wants to change the world and is literally willing to manipulate every human on a subconscious level to do it. I say sociopath because I don't think it seems like he's not fully aware of his own actions upon everyone else. Because I think he recognizes his influence on people, recognizes the fact it's like, you've never comprehended the idea that someone could maybe have a dream with more conviction than you. Probably your biggest downfall is, or what caused you to fail, is that you may have a dream that affects everybody and you think that makes you better, but one man with a quest for vengeance could possibly have enough to override your ambition to make his reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like, I get to quote the Dark Knight, it's like what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. We have a definitive answer of the unstoppable force eventually wins out. Because if he can't move the object, he'll just cut it down. In this instance, Vaughn is like Batman because he literally does not care about what the Claw wants.
Yep.
Whereas the Claw wants rebirth and the Joker wants chaos, Vaughn is specifically after revenge and nothing else. He is more single-minded, arguably, than the Claw is in his ambition.
Yeah.
Vaughn is at least, and I love the juxtaposition of how Vaughn really tries to push everyone away from helping him, whereas the Claw accepts anyone who helps his ambition.
Mm-hmm.
I find it very interesting, and you can even tell that in their color scheme where Vaughn wears all black and the Claw wears mostly all white. Just very interesting to see the juxtaposition. So I get why you like him so much, Lenny. Like there is a lot that you can read into him.
Absolutely.
It's very interesting to see how little, like, he's so in his own head and in the clouds of his pie in the sky idea that he's never on the ground and realizing that he affects other people. See that is when he seemed to kill his own staff member by accident, even in a coup d'etat. But even after that, he's moping about it and crying about it and knowing that he did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same time, he didn't. My question, though, is what led him to wanting to kill Elena in the first place? Because I may have missed that detail.
Here's what I've gathered, because they never state it outright, but we pick up a few clues when it comes to Ray. So he killed Ray's wife because they were not going to be compliant with his birthday plan.
Mm-hmm.
And they needed to silence anyone who had knowledge of these plans so that they couldn't leak it to anyone else and allow interlopers to interfere. Now, we can apply that as well to in regards to Elena and Vaughn, in that, based on what we can tell, at least from certain context clues, the implication is that Vaughn and Elena were unwilling to cooperate with the plan, and they would, in this case, since Vaughn was part of the integration project, they would need to kill Vaughn so he could get a new pilot for that mech.
Oh, okay.
I see. So they were trying to just get him out of the way before he became a problem.
Well, not so much that... yes, before it became a problem, but basically, A, Elena knows too much about the project, and since he's unwilling to cooperate, we have to kill her, and B, we can't have someone piloting Dan of Thursday if he's bound to it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's not that he was completely bound to it as much as he was going through the process, and you can't, stop him from doing that and start someone else. He was already, integrated into it, even just partially. So, with that, because as in, you have to, one of the original 7 members, whoever it may be at the time, has to die before a new one can, we'll say, be assigned to that robot.
What if the robot is destroyed?
Well, then the robot's destroyed. But this is based on some notes I've seen outside of this. This is supposed to be like an anti-theft measure to make sure that none of the prisoners on the planet steal a mech, so to speak.
Gotcha.
As in, they can only do it if the pilot is dead. And for the most part, the mech will not even work for them in that instance. So it has to be reassigned after the original one is dead.
Okay.
Yes. Now, it didn't work, because Godved helped them, and Godved also paid the price for it. But...
True.
Because that's what happened in that case. In the case of, as Godved mentioned, the Claw initially went after him initially, and injured him when he thought he was not compliant, but then he basically, convinced him to join by nursing him back to health.
Ah.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah. And I'll say, I agree with all of your commentary on the Claw with that, and I appreciate the one aspect that I like, and we've discussed this about villains, is I'm not gonna say that I feel bad for the Claw as much as I find him to be a sympathetic villain in the sense of he has, like you mentioned, actually altruistic goals.
Mm-hmm.
He actually wants the world to be a peaceful place, and as far as we can see, this wasn't because here's the thing, he is willing to lie to people to get what he wants. We know that when he says that he'd bring Elena back to life. So it's not that he's unwilling to lie, but we do know for the most part that based on his ambitions, he is wanting peace, he is wanting to not, kill people since he actually mourns when something dies, since that's, part of his philosophy, and, he only views necessary death for his plan as, something that he won't mourn for. And so, the moment, you mentioned before, when he, kills that guy with a hug and he, actually cries about it, it's that moments like that maybe, I'm gonna say this is a good, on the scale of, villains, he is a good antithesis to what we look for, say, Dio. Dio is great in the sense of the love-to-hate villains, where they're genuinely evil, they love it, they aren't doing it because they're sad about something that happened to them as a kid, or anything, they're just fucked up in the head, And then you have this scale, where, given the fact that if you weren't invested in Vaughn, let's just say you heard about the Claw in general without knowing about his crimes. If you just heard that this guy was willing to kill himself to spread something around the world to make everyone less violent, to kind of make it reductive, you might think that that is something much more noble than, a random, cowboy tuxedo mech rider man coming to kill him for a personal grudge.
Yeah.
They would say that arguably Vaughn is much more selfish than the Claw, since, the Claw is kind of self-sacrificial, borderline martyristic.
Just straight up, Vaughn is way more selfish. That is not in dispute.
Yeah, so it's that, but then again, the series kind of, we'll say, puts a lens on that question, on the idea of, is being selfish a bad thing if it's, in opposition to, we'll say, someone threatening humanity. Well, or at least the concept of humanity as opposed to the lives of humans.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, is one person's selfish goal that bad when if it is something that it by proxy saves others?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, and is this that's kind of what I dig, because this isn't just personal grudge or anything else, or just conquest. It's they all have their own things, and that's what I dig about him a lot. Plus, it's just, you really do want him to lose, even if you do have these weird things where he seems like a genuinely nice person when he's not being batshit crazy, and even though he has good motives, just because of how much we've attached ourselves to Vaughn before we even see the Claw, we're no, kill him now, He needs to die. He killed his wife. You ain't you ain't talking your way out of this one. And
it really isn't.
and like we said at the end, you know, when he takes him out, like he doesn't even respond. He doesn't give a quip. You know, he doesn't even yell.
Let him finish his sentence.
That's
he
right.
Just does it.
He just does it without even doing a, you know, chesto. He doesn't even do that. He just fucking cuts him in half and calls it a day.
Pretty much. Oh, yeah, I completely understand why you would say he is a very good example of a villain or a sympathetic villain. I will admit, I don't think he's going to rank in my personal pantheon of best villains or favorite villains.
Yeah.
But I completely understand why he would be in your personal ring as a really good sympathetic villain.
Fair enough, man.
Oh, in terms of a rating, I would give him probably around an 8, 8.5, same as Jalen.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, sorry, go ahead.
I was saying my only criticisms with the Claw was some of his like maybe aloofness was just a little bit. It's like you should have at least thought that for someone as meticulous as you should have at least thought about like, hey, maybe it's not a good idea to kill someone who's about to be married on their wedding day. Kind of fucked up on that one massively.
To be fair, he would have been fine if he had actually made sure he was dead.
True. That's just like the fact that he thought he killed someone without being aware is like, oh, yeah, I left that person alive. They might come back to kill me. I didn't think of that. Really, for someone who is as methodical in setting this all up, you really couldn't check to see if one guy didn't have a pulse.
To be fair, every time he attacked someone else with that claw, they were dead.
Oh, I understand that, but it just never hurts to check.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that he, as soon as he realized Vaughn was still alive, he tried to get someone to like slowly talk him over to that side, to his side. With that one dude on the island.
Despite the fact that was never going to work.
He tried.
Yep.
Right, yes, but there was no way it was going to work. Yeah, overall, pretty satisfying show.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, since we've rated him as a villain, let's talk on the topic of ratings. How would you guys rate the show overall?
The show itself is also an 8.5.
I'd give the show a solid 8.
Cool.
The only reason why I would ding it is just because some of the characters, I felt like some of the character plot points should have been raised a little bit sooner in terms of like Vaughn should have been called on his shit a lot earlier. Ray should have been called out on his shit a lot earlier. I'm happy the fact that they were called out, but it should have happened like 5 or 6 episodes ago in the show. Everyone was so okay with it. It was like, look, dude, I get it. You want to avenge your wife, but it won't mean a damn thing if you're trying to do this by yourself and you end up dead. Then what will you have done all of this for? Nothing. Lay it all out on him just for some reason, just to get it through his head. Granted, I know Vaughn is thick-skulled like nobody's business, and Ray is just, he doesn't give a crap. And aside from that, some of the maturity levels of some of the characters are a little bit to be desired, namely Carmen and Wendy's. It's like, Wendy's still a kid, but during that whole swimsuit episode, I was like, okay, I get it. You're a kid. You're still bashful about this. Literally trying to throw yourself at Vaughn the first episode and say, I'll learn. It's like, no. You've obviously got an idea of what you supposedly have to do, quote unquote, concept of it, but you've still got to work on being forward with your own feelings and your sense of modesty. I mean, in the words of Baki's dad, chastity never accomplished much anyway.
I can't believe we're quoting Baki's dad.
I'm sorry, but he's not wrong.
I mean, it's fair. It's also another series I showed you guys, so it's in line.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. Again, but I'm not approving of the match just because like you're obviously not old enough. It's like, okay, you do look a little bit older in the ending, so maybe it's okay, but I'm just gonna put a giant question mark over that.
Well, see,
Vaughn hasn't aged a day.
yeah, that's the thing this show is unclear on. There's okay, this is an unconfirmed fan theory, just to say this, but it's implied that people who interact with or heavily use Earth or Prison Planet technology either have slowed or just stopped aging. And
so it's basically the LC fluid, the LLC fluid or LCL fluid from Evangelion.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're looking at the idea that, like, since Vaughn has literally regenerative health powers, that may be attributed to his lack of aging.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a fair bit.
Yeah. Now, as for the claw, it's hard to say. I think the idea that they would present, at least this is something that people have discussed when we're talking about the idea of a prison planet and people and whatnot. The idea presented is that the Earthlings, we'll say, are technologically advanced to have infinite lifespans, but that when you're a prisoner on the planet, you will say they take that away and you have a standard lifespan, you know, and that your sentence is living on the planet and then dying of natural causes. Hence why the Claw, under normal circumstances, would not age, but since he has a terminal illness, it's that which is killing him, not his actual age at this point, which explains how he's at this rate, since I think they said it's like the year's like 4 or something, like 421 on the planet. So give or take, he's at least 420 plus years old, you know, maybe even
the murder of crow's feet.
Yeah, so at least 450, given that if he was at least a 30-year-old when they arrived at the planet, you know. So that's what people have basically said to explain certain things is, and also, they only mention it once in the show, but the Claw's real name is, Ku Crying Crew. Spelled with a K.
When did they say that?
This is when, Wu was, introducing himself.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, he says, I am William Will Wu, and I am the son of Ku Crying Crew, and you are trespassing in my home.
Oh.
And his name was actually originally, before the dub came out, revealed in Super Robot Wars.
No, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, weird name. Do not abbreviate it. We'll say. Do not give out his initials.
I am trying hard not to.
But
don't say it. Don't think it. Don't say it. Don't think it.
That's right.
The bye man.
But yeah, no. So that's the idea. That's why it looks like Godvet doesn't age either. As a note for that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So anyway, I present this because this is something that shippers run away with, like a like a goddamn stolen hen. Because they're basically like, Vaughn just has to wait for her to catch up, and then and then everything will be fine.
Not if Priscilla has her way with things.
I would here's the thing. I would like the pairing of Priscilla and Vaughn better purely because of the closer ages, but if age is not an issue, he definitely has more history and better chemistry with Wendy. So, barring that isn't an issue going forward, then they would be better for that.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
Nobody should be with Vaughn, but you know.
Yeah, I think he's kind of the Elena or bust, train right now. So.
Yeah, that is true.
If the man does ever die, he will die a virgin. That is something I can almost guarantee.
Never forget, he tried. to dissuade a lady by saying that.
Yep. Multiple times. Every time someone has like confessed to him or proposed a marriage, he's like, "I'm a virgin," and then they're like, "Oh, that is either I don't care or what's a virgin."
Mm-hmm.
Or hey, that's a bonus.
Oh God.
And I love the juxtaposition between Vaughn and Michael in that instance. It's just like, oh, by the way, it's my first time. Well, now.
Yep.
It's just, I just find the mirror, the foiling to be kind of hilarious.
And this is also something else I wasn't gonna go too deep into, but something else that I think someone else mentioned. I think it's on another drama CD, but I forget where I initially found this info. The implication that we have is that Fossilina used to be a whore, an actual prostitute. And then the Colossus saved her from that life, and so she basically sort of like, we'll say, swore off that sort of stuff in the sense of now that she didn't need to do it, she felt like no desire to do that at all for the most part. As in she's not like actively promiscuous on her own. So the idea presented based on this information is that her sleeping with Michael wasn't just a passive thing that she was just doing in the moment. It's implied that that's actually a very serious deal for her because it was one of the first times she's done it by choice as opposed to being forced to or through necessity.
It is a very interesting point to raise.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where people present, because like I'm just gonna be honest, I don't dislike the romance, but it's a little bit rushed. Like they have a few kind of neat interactions at first that are kind of a little bit flirtatious, but they don't have a ton of like on-screen time to like build stuff. And then they have sex, and then they have like one scene together after that, and then they're like, "My love," and it's like, it's been a week.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
a couple of weeks technically.
Yeah, but it makes sense in a couple of weeks. So, with that in mind, the justification of it's his first time, so he's clearly going to be emotionally attached, and this is her first optional time, so she's clearly invested via that. And that's where people kind of justify them like going together. Not even like a ship, because they're actually together. So.
Yeah. Kind of to retort to that point, Lenny, Michael did make it an effort, or at least try to raise the point of saying, hey, what's wrong with me trying to care about you in the sense of wanting to accomplish our goal? Like, I would feel, you wouldn't feel bad about me dying, because I would feel bad about you dying.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to emphasize the point more. It's like, no, I legitimately care about you and I want you to be okay. I feel like that development of romance was accelerated by Michael trying to prove his point.
That's a good point.
Oh, yes, he might be invested in it. It's just like, well, you're the first woman I've ever tapped with, so I'm obviously going to be invested on the physical side of things. But I also want to prove to you that I'm right. It sounds way more petty, but that would also mean is like, yeah, he legitimately does care, and he has raised the ideas like, no, you do care about everyone that you technically work with, including the person who you slept with in your robot. Which, hey, not a bad location for your first time. That just makes me realize, like, every time he gets in his mech, it's just like, damn it, I'm boned in here. I don't know why. That just makes me laugh inside.
See, it's a good thing that they're still together. Like, imagine if they broke up. That would fuck with his head. Man.
I was like, man, this is just going to bring up bad memories. So it seems to me like it was also accelerated by him trying to prove his statement true or be true to his word.
Yep, that sounds reasonable.
And I think that pretty much sums up all my thoughts for Gun X Sword.
Anything else from you, Jalen?
It's a badass show. Barry was very wordy. I'm going to be very simply about it. It's a badass show. You should watch it. 8.5 out of 10. Robots.
They have watched it if they watched it with us.
I have a feeling somebody did.
They're good. While that is true, Jalen, I'm gonna say they gotta be very dedicated because since this is supposed to line up with the episode itself, like this isn't gonna be like a supercut, you know, like it was with like E3 where like the clips are there for context. So when they watch this, there's gonna be long because mind you, there are times when we didn't talk for like 5 or even 8 minutes straight.
Yeah.
So they'd have to sit through us just sitting here in complete silence, and then out of nowhere going, ah ha ha, he kicked Joshua, ah ha ha.
We didn't want to be. I don't feel like we want to be those obnoxious a-holes that just talk constantly through a show.
No, that's a good point. But what I'm saying is, if someone were to just watch these without watching the show, not only would there be long gaps of silence, but they'd be extremely confused. So then, coming here, and mind you, I don't mind you giving a recommendation. I'm glad. I want everyone to see this show. It's, I'm not going to say it's obscure, but most people, when you talk about, like, we'll say most anime fans probably have either only heard of it or not seen the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anyone who I've talked to, the only people I know who've heard of this thing know about it because I brought it up. And the only people who've seen it are people I've shown it to. And it's not even like that they think it's a bad premise or anything, you know. Usually the first episode, if anything, will hook someone. If it's going to hook them at all. Like, if the first episode doesn't hook you, then none of the rest of the show is really going to, like, grab your attention.
Yeah.
You know?
That is true. Granted, I was about to say, it's like, now you kind of know how I feel whenever I bring up Ghost Hunt.
Yep. Yeah, no, I've never heard anyone talk about Ghost Hunt besides you, and I've only watched it because you showed us.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but nah, that was, I'm pleased that you guys enjoyed it. I'm very glad we got to watch this together and have this experience with all of you people watching as well.
Yeah. Hopefully they enjoyed watching it with us as much as our smarmy banter going back and forth over the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that leaves us to what is next, and I believe it is Jalen. It is your turn.
Yeah, it's my turn, y'all.
Which is thy pick, sir?
Get ready for something completely different. Because we're watching Do Ra Ra Ra. Season 1.
That is a decidedly different show from this.
I have no idea what I'm in for.
Not this. We'll say. It is a not in regards to quality though. I'll say of the episodes I've seen of Do Ra Ra Ra, which is very few, I should mention. I very much enjoyed my time with the show. It's like, and this isn't a great description. But I would call it a slice of life if it was directed like it was a psychological thriller.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now it isn't. It is not a psychological thriller, as in if it was, I'd just call it that.
It is
but a slice of
life.
Yes. Well, it's closer to a slice of life than a psychological thriller.
But it is not exactly that.
You should see the puzzle in my face right now.
I'm sure it is. I'm not helping matters.
Hard to describe.
I mean slice of life in the sense of it is, for the most part, fairly grounded, and it is not about a grand adventure. Like, It's not like this where they're like, bad man killed my wife, must find bad man. You know, This is like people who go to school and have a life, and they do things in their life. And, like, the show doesn't establish, like, an end point from the get-go. They're not out to get the One Piece. They're not out to find the Dragon Balls. They're not out to kill the Claw. They're not out to
become the Hokage.
They're not out to do Hokage.
So in other words, it's a show that actually gets to the point.
Well, it gets to the point in the sense of they don't establish a overarching plot, so to speak.
Right, but it does have a point in the episode itself.
And it doesn't it doesn't drag on like when you watch the other show and it's like, my name is Strawberry and I am here to drink bleach. I couldn't say that with a straight face, but no, it's
you cut out like halfway through that sentence. What? All I heard was, my name is blank and I drink bleach.
That was it. My name is Strawberry and I'm here to drink bleach. That is the entire statement.
I'm now even more confused.
Okay. Here's Lenny with the segment called "Explaining the Joke." So,
attention, kids. This will be on the test later.
So there's an anime and manga series called Bleach, and
I know what Bleach is. It's Dragon Ball Z, but with swords and way worse filler.
And the main character's name is Ichigo, but that is the Japanese word for strawberry.
Yes.
So.
Oh, it's a pun.
So if you translated his name literally, as in, if you actually said his name aloud, as a literal translation, his name in the English adaptation should be Strawberry. But they knew that would be retarded, so they decided to keep it as Ichigo.
One of the things is that Ichigo is commonly used as a woman's name, so there's that too.
Isn't there I know this is gonna sound, but isn't there an anime that's called like Strawberry 100% or something?
Ichigo 100%.
There we go.
That's right.
I thought that's what it was.
Yes. So,
I remember hearing that name a long time ago.
Yeah. So that's where I got that joke from.
Okie doke.
Yeah. But Do Ra 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 sounds like a good time, and y'all will be able to join us for that one next time. Anything else you guys like to add before we sign off for this?
For the recording itself, I'm pretty much good.
How about you, Jalen? Any closing comments before we sign off?
Chesto. That's
right. All right, then, with that in mind, then, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you for the next series, Do Ra Ra Ra, as to be presented by Jalen.
Yep.
All right.
See you next time.